Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest Las Vegas Casino podcast. I promised I was going to do some more podcasts related to reviews of the magic shows or some of the other shows that I've seen there in Las Vegas during all my recent trips. And if you haven't had a chance, check on my other ones where I talked about, like, for example, Nathan Burton's show, and then I talked about Carrot Top's show. This one that I'm going to talk about here is another magic type show, and it's held over at the Tropicana, and it's called Murray the Celebrity Magician. Murray has almost an iconic look of sorts. He's the guy with the big, huge pompadour, blondish type hair. And he always wears kind of like retro glasses from the 1950s, and that's his look, and he's had that for a good while now. But I've seen his show, I think, either 2 times, or was it 3 times? I can't remember, because every time I go with someone I knew, then I show them the show there, and they love it. So the show there, again, it's at the Tropicana. It's a magic type show, and the very nice thing about this show is that it's very, very intimate. I had mentioned, like, for example, the Armando Vera card trick show, how literally you're there with just about a group of about 30 people or so. This show is almost that small, but it's probably around 40 or 50 people that are within the show. It's literally held within the Laugh Factory that's located within the Tropicana. So imagine your average comedy type bar, and imagine how big those are just within any town that you happen to live in. Imagine that housing a booth, like a front booth where the magician would perform. It's a small one too. I mean, it's probably the size of a living room and so forth. And imagine that, and then probably around 50, some tables and some chairs, enough to fit at least around 40 or 50 people. And that's the type of show that you have here. Very close, very intimate, not a bad seat in the house at all. So even if you're purchasing the VIP and you're trying to get it but you can't because it's sold out, don't worry. Even if you purchase the regular tickets on there, you'll be fine. You'll be able to see the show very, very nicely. So Murray, the Celebrity Magician, he's basically kind of new, at least new in the sense that this is his first type of show that he's had in Las Vegas, at least on a regular status, kind of like a headliner of sorts, because apparently he's had shows in the past in Las Vegas, but it's always been sporadic. It's nothing like the bigger league type shows where they book them for years on end. So for example, like Chris Angel is booked for years on end at the Luxor, Carrot Top for years on end at the Luxor, Nathan Burton for years on end at Planet Hollywood. Those are some good examples. And here, this is Murray's very first show where he's booked on for, I believe, like 2 or 3 years there at the Tropicana. Fairly new. He just started in 2012, I believe, like in the late 2012. So he just celebrated around 2 years there. And so kudos to him with regards to the show. So what does it basically consist of? Essentially, it's magic tricks, but not the larger magic tricks that you would expect at a bigger show, because again, the bigger shows have the full huge auditorium, the very large stage to use with, where they can have props the size of cars, if not giant statues, to work with. No, here everything again is far more intimate, far more closer. It's him making stuff either disappear, like smaller type stuff disappear in front of you, or making things reappear in front of you. And the props that he uses tends to again be on a smaller size. Like for example, when he has a like a card trick that he has where he makes people come up and he has them pick cards, then he'll be able to choose using a sword of some sort. He'll be able to essentially gouge the card when he throws them up in the air, and it'll be your card. Very neat trick. And I know this firsthand because he actually picked me again to go up on the show itself. So if you're keeping count, this is now either the third or I believe the third time that I've been actually up on a Las Vegas show. And I don't know, again, if I have that kind of face or if I have that kind of personality, but for whatever reason they seem to single me out. So, but yeah, that's how the show goes. He does little tricks there in front of the audience. He's also a pretty good like a comedic actor. He definitely plays to the audience, and it's very family friendly. It's not anything where he's going to tell a bunch of like dirty jokes or raunchy jokes. No, by all means, it's all just like a family type show. And the big clue, of course, is that it's held, I believe, either at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is again key for anything involving family type shows. And then also his show is more of a variety in that he has several acts that play out throughout the show. He has his sidekick, I guess you could call him, Lefty, who performs card tricks, but these are card tricks in the sense that he's able to essentially manipulate cards between his hands, between his fingers, in a very fluid, very, very magic type fashion. He also has a trick where he has an audience member come up and he works with them either with some disappearing toilet paper, or he uses like a large metal ball to make it seem like it's floating in midair. Pretty cool stuff. And then for the showgirls, Murray doesn't have, again, like the large type show where you have 4 or 5 showgirls all prancing around. No, Murray instead just has one showgirl, but it's actually his wife, and she is beautiful. Her name is Chloe. And the twice that I've seen her there at the show, she is absolutely stunning. So she comes out and she performs the usual dancing, the usual skits in the short skirts and everything, to the usual stuff that you would expect a magician having with their sexy female assistant. And that's the show itself. Very, very nice show. I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. Again, I wasn't expecting much the very first time I went there, because once I walked in, and it throws you off how small the venue is, let alone the venue that the magician will actually play on. But once the show starts, you definitely become enraptured with it. Like, you become lost into how well he's able to keep the show going, keep the audience going, and you completely forget the fact that it's as small and intimate as it looks on there. Very, very nice stuff. That's a hard trick to pull out, so big kudos to Murray the Magician and his crew for being able to essentially fill a 1-hour show and make it go very fast, make it go like this. Tickets, generally, I think he charges somewhere around, for regular tickets, $30, and the VIPs and the $40-50. Easiest way to avoid those is sign up for the Tropicana card that's there. It's a reward card. You'll instantly be able to get buy one get one type tickets for free. So whatever the ticket price is, you'll be able to cut it in half for each. And there's also those places that are in and around Las Vegas that you can buy. I think they're called half TIX, and you'll be able to buy those shows for half price, but those are probably just the general shows. So you're better off trying to get the Tropicana card so you can make sure you can get the VIP type tickets. Fair warning though, again, if you do get the VIP tickets, pretty much they're the only ones there in the front row, and the front row being as small as it is, you will get not picked on, but you'll be able to have him kind of go like one by one almost and point out something from each person. Nothing again too bad, nothing raunchy or anything like that, but he definitely is a comedian and he makes fun of people there on the show. And then if you're lucky enough, which is a very good chance, then you'll actually be picked on to be on the show, up on top, on stage, for a good while on there. So again, Murray the Celebrity Magician, highly recommended. It's over at the Tropicana. Fair warning though, he has said on his Facebook and Twitter that he has the now status changed from the Tropicana to a limited engagement. That kind of tells you that his contract or whatever with the show is going to be coming up soon. So when that happens, I'll communicate with everybody here, but you'll probably still have a chance, probably like another year or so to see him. So, alright everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.